Hey there, hi there, hello world, welcome to my channel. This is Ellie, and today's video we're going to take a quick look at compare contrast of the Saltwater Spirit Oracle cards and Ocean Dreams Mystic Oracle. So just wanted to say thank you very much for the suggestion, and shout out to Krista Estrada, who left a comment in one of my videos asking about just kind of, what's the difference between the two? How different are they? How similar are they? Because they are both very, very beautiful decks, and they have a similar vibe, but they are pretty different and unique in their own right. So yeah, this video is just to kind of answer that question and show off a little bit of each deck and their unique personality. So let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so first up we'll be taking a look at Saltwater Spirit Oracle cards, and this is by Yana Saint LéVie. And this deck in particular is, let's see, a 55 card Oracle deck, and it does have a 100-page guidebook. So this is just a very beautiful deck. Currently, you can find this for sale on Yana's website. I will provide the link in the description below, but it is currently retailing at $49.99 US at the time of this video. So we'll be taking a look at this deck here in just a few moments, but let's introduce our next deck. Alright, so next we'll be taking a look at Ocean Dreams, a Mystic Oracle. This is by Danielle Noel. So this deck itself is also a very beautiful oceanic themed deck. So very, very pretty. This deck is currently available as well on Danielle's website, so I will provide the link for that as well. So you can find this currently available for $49 US. Now these are all prices before shipping, so just kind of be aware. But I will provide some extra links in the description below in case you wanted to look for a couple other places to shop online for this. But yes, definitely if you can, support the artist at their website, Yana and Danielle respectively. I will have those links down there as well. All right, so in regards to this deck here, we have a very beautiful 64 card deck with a full color guidebook as well. So this deck itself comes in the magnetic closure box, and yeah, it's just very, very beautiful. It is a little bit bigger when compared to the Saltwater Spirit, but again, just very beautiful decks, both of these, and just a treasure. So yeah, next we'll go ahead and take a look into them individually so you can really see what kind of constitutes these individual decks. All right, so first we'll take a look at Saltwater Spirit Oracle cards, and this is the deck that was written and illustrated by Yana Saint LéVie. So the deck box is a very beautifully done box. This is a magnetic flap closure. So this is one where you can open and close with this magnetic flap. And here are the details on the back of the box. So we have a little preview and a little bit about the cards here. And there we go, side view. And this is silver foil that is stamped throughout the box here. And again, this is done in collaboration with Prism and Fleur Design Studio. So you can find that again on Prism and Fleur's website or Yana's website as well. And I'll have those links below in the description. All right, so that's the box. Let's take a look at the guidebook. So the guidebook that comes with this deck is a very beautiful full color guidebook as well. So this again has written and illustrated by Yana Saint LéVie, and we have the Saltwater Spirit guidebook. It is a very pastel, very light colored book. So yeah, the fonts here on the front might be a little difficult to read, but trust me, it's beautiful seeing it in person. So again, it is full color. And we do have all the details on the inside here. Let's get to the details. Here we go. So here is the table of contents. And as you can see, there is quite a bit of content here for this deck. We have a dedication. This is the thank you page, a little bit about the deck, and the story for the author. Here's some alignment, Heart of the Ocean prayer. Here's a ritual to, I guess, bless or welcome the cards. And then there are a few oracle spreads provided, which is always lovely when it comes to a new deck. And again, one of the very unique things about this deck here is that there are journal prompts provided here if you'd like to be using these oracle cards in conjunction with journaling practices. So there are some prompts here that you can utilize to help you make those connections to the cards and how they pertain to your life at that particular moment in time. So then we have here a spiritual glossary, and this covers topics such as numerology, colors, moon phases, and the chakras. So a lot of really neat information packed into this booklet here, courtesy of the artist, and that is Yana. All right, so taking a look at the backs of the cards here, Saltwater Spirit Oracle. This is a very beautiful card pack, if I may say so myself. We have some beautiful pearl accents with 4 little shells lining the edges here and the border of the back of the card. It's a very light, very ethereal feeling kind of oceanic deck, and that is definitely reflected on the backs of the cards. We also have this very beautiful silver gilded edging, and this is holographic silver. So as you can see, it just dances in the light. It is absolutely beautiful. Very, very pretty all around, and makes for a very cool effect when in the right lighting. Right, so the front of the cards themselves have this very beautiful art that, of course, is pretty signature for Yana. So this is an example of one of the cards. This is the Calm After the Storm. And what we have here on the cards themselves is we have the number, the card title, and then a little bit about the card itself, the meaning, something to kind of clue you into the vibration of the card. So let's take a look at a few of these here. Sacred Waters, and then a little bit about the card. So again, this is a really great deck if you want to get kind of like a journaling practice going, if you want something that's a little straightforward and guided. Usually oracle decks that have this at the bottom are very good for guided readings. Of course, you're welcome to use them intuitively and just kind of go based off of the artwork that you see here, whatever feeling that evokes for you. But yeah, this is a great deck I recommend if you're looking for something that can kind of guide you a little bit. It's always helpful to have a little bit of some detail behind the card, and then use that in conjunction with what you feel from the artwork. So another neat detail about these cards, if you were to work with them, is the card themselves, well, each individual card actually, has an associated page. You can look up here in the guidebook. And of course, this goes over the name of the card, the meaning, gives you a few more keywords here if you wanted to kind of go off of these keywords based on the guide, and then some information here. But the thing that's really neat about this is that there's also an evocation. So this is something you can say, let's say, for example, if you choose to pull a daily card and you want to kind of get like a mantra or some kind of affirmation for the day, you can do that using this little evocation right here. So if you were to pull Heart of the Ocean, which is this card, you could say, I call upon the vibration of love to flow through me and radiate into all aspects of my life. So again, just something that's very unique, very cool for when you want to do some kind of journaling practice. And if the Saltwater Spirit Oracle cards is kind of your calling, that would be just some of the details about it that you could possibly use this deck for. All right, now we'll be looking at the Ocean Dreams Oracle, a mystic oracle. And this one is by Danielle Noel, and let's go ahead and take a look. So the box for the Mystic Dreams Oracle is the same as the Saltwater Spirit Oracle. We have a box similar to the previous. It is a magnetic flap box. So again, very helpful for those of us who struggle with the two-piece pull-apart boxes. But yeah, this one is very beautiful art all throughout. So you'll see every side is decorated. And this box in particular does have like a light gold foil. It's not holographic, but it's like a foiling, so it shines when the light hits it just right. Very beautiful box. We have the back details here, a little bit about the deck, and then of course we have all the information down here as to where you can find this deck. So if you go to this website, you can find it there. If you go to the artist website, Danielle Noel's site, you will find this deck there as well. Again, I'll provide that link in the description below if you wanted to look into that. So yeah. Next up, we'll take a look at the guidebook that comes with this deck. And this is a great guidebook. Let me go ahead and show you. So nice and thick, very beautiful. It is full color. So let's take a look at some of the contents here. Very pretty. The color is bold and vivid, beautiful. I believe this is like the threaded stitching, so it's not just glued in there, which is always appreciated when it's nice and sturdy like this. So here are the contents of the book, a card index, which is always very helpful. Spans a few pages here, and then we have an introduction. So this is where you'll read a little bit about Ocean Dreams Oracle, as above so below, various little blurbs about the deck itself, and here is how to use this deck. So this is your first time using an Oracle deck, then this would be a great reference. Reading the transmissions. And this is how to conduct your 1 card and 3 card readings, as well as a few included oracle spreads. So again, yay, I love these. I believe this one's actually in one of the journals that Danielle Noel has on her website as well. So very cool. Love when there are spreads included. And there are quite a few here. Look, that's already 2, 4. So that's 4. Pretty cool. And this is a really interesting chapter of the book. This is for ritual work. So if you were to utilize these cards for ritual work, there's a little bit here about how to do so. And it's very interesting. I will show you in a moment. For utilizing these oracle cards, creating an altar, you can do that as well. Casting a circle, closing your circle, very important. Here's some clearing rituals. Lunar rituals, star water ritual, and then we get into the oracle messages themselves. So we'll go into that in just a second, but until then, that is the guidebook for the Ocean Dreams Oracle. All right, so getting into the cards themselves. This is the back of the Ocean Dreams Oracle, and as you can see, this is very beautiful art. Oceanic as well. Very, very serene, I think, is what I get seeing this image. It's very peaceful. So yeah, it is a vision of waters, very peaceful waters, almost like a mirror image. And reflected in the water, you can see there's a face there. So very, very pretty. All right, the deck itself is gilded edges, but these are like a shimmery turquoise color as they're described on the website. So it's very pretty. Maybe the lighting here doesn't do it very much justice, but it is very beautiful. And I don't think it comes off very easy, which is always appreciated because I tend to bang these cards up into each other. But yeah, it's very nice. Turquoise gilded edges. All right, so now we'll look at the front of the cards, and as you can see here, there is this very beautiful, serene image of being underwater, the water reflecting with the sun rays at the top, and then as they kind of shine down below into the sand. And here we have the card name. So this one is simply Clear Waters. Now, so going back to how to utilize these oracle decks, when you pick up ones that just have kind of like a keyword or a title, this is very much an intuitive deck. So if you're somebody who, again, likes to have maybe a little bit of keywords to guide you, it's best that you refer to the guidebook for this deck in particular because it does not have, any description below. So again, this is a very good deck to just really tap into your intuitive senses with and just kind of go with what you feel. So yeah, let's take a look at a few cards here. So magnetic heart, and then you can just go based off the image. Manta rays there, low water in the sunset. Here we have unconditional love, and these dolphins playing in these very beautiful cloudy waters. So again, this is definitely a deck that if you can utilize intuitively would probably be the easier way to work with them at first. However, if you want to be guided, I'll show you in just a second, the guidebook is very, very good. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and take a look into the guidebook. All right, so looking at the card here, Lunar Waters, we see this very beautiful image of what looks like a moon and just almost waterfall coming from the moon itself and pouring into this very beautiful serene pool of water. And this is, of course, Lunar Waters. So if we were to use this card with the guidebook, we'll turn to the page here, you'll see that there is a lot of information provided within this guidebook for the individual card itself. So here we have that image, and then just a little bit about the card itself. So living by the moon, natural rhythms, and graceful feminine flow. So again, those are kind of like the key words. They're not on the card itself, but that is intuitively what you could pick up on, or whatever it may be that your intuition is leading you to, unless you wanted to really kind of weave the story or the information from the artist themselves and just kind of utilize this as a way to learn the card as you go. So there's like a little, I want to say affirmation, I'm not even really sure if that's what we would call it, but there's like a little affirmation here that's associated with the card, and it says, I tune into the cycles of the moon. I honor the natural ebb and flow of energy. So again, just something that you can kind of keep in mind when you see this card come through in a reading. If this is something that resonates with you, Lunar Waters is about cycles of the moon. So again, very feminine energy. This is about the cycles as they pertain to life, or just any kind of cycles that we experience in life itself. So then we have just a little bit about the card here. So it goes into great detail. There's a lot to read about, and it's really, really good information. I refer to the booklet a lot, even though I try to do more intuitive readings. I just love how deep this book can go if you really want to utilize it for that purpose. So there's a transmission illumination here, as you can see, that just kind of gives you, sort of similarly to the other deck, a prompt of sorts to kind of really maybe journal or utilize in your own practice if this card comes up for you. So if this card were to come up in a reading, this would be asking, how can I follow a more natural rhythm and flow? So because the theme of Lunar Waters is all about cycles and the flow of energy, this would be a really great prompt if you wanted to do some journaling when this card comes up. So how can I follow a more natural rhythm and flow? But yeah, that is just one of the ways you can utilize this deck when you want to pull oracle cards for your practice. All right, everyone, so that was just kind of a side-by-side, taking a peek at the similarities but different similarities that these two decks share. Again, two very wonderfully talented artists, and they each have kind of a familiar vibe to them. They kind of interplay, I think. But they're very unique in their own right, and I love the way that each artist has gone about, putting together their vision of like oceanic imagery and just very ethereal feeling kind of oracle deck. So again, Saltwater Spirit Oracle cards by Yana Saint LéVie, and Ocean Dreams Mystic Oracle by Danielle Noel, and yeah, just both are very, very beautiful decks. Highly recommend them. Again, they are perfect for use if you wanted to use them together. I like to combine actually both of these decks with a couple other decks by Danielle Noel and the Age of Aquarius Tarot by Yana Saint LéVie. And they work in such beautiful harmony. The readings always just resonate so beautifully. So again, if this is really like your vibe, I highly recommend both, but you know, you can pick in whichever one really just speaks to you in the style of reading that is good for you. It's a good fit, right? And ultimately, that's what it's all about. You know, if the decks speak to you, then if you have the opportunity to, start up that conversation, that's always a good thing, right? To have a beautiful deck that you connect with and you bond with. So yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the little sneak peek at just kind of the way that these cards can be utilized. And feel free to start a conversation below. Let me know what you think of both of these decks. Let me know if one in particular calls to you or how you would utilize this deck in your practice. So again, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.